Hi everyone, welcome back to Your Yoga Journey with Sophie. This is step 5 of the journey. And this episode is focused on the triangle poses. So the extended triangle pose, the revolved triangle pose, and the intense side stretch pose. So I hope you enjoy it.
Your yoga journey, get that universal love we all need. Reconnect your body and mind and enjoy yourself. At the same time, be grateful and grow on your yoga journey.
What poses are we going to do today? The first pose is called Extended Triangle Pose or Utthita Trikonasana, and it's a pose that does a lot of things, stretching the hamstrings and a twist in the spine. The second pose is called Revolved Triangle Pose or Parivrtta Trikonasana. It's a very similar pose except that the spine is twisted the other way around. And the third pose is called Intense Side Stretch Pose, and in this one both shoulders are kept square to the front of the mat. Come and stand on your mats, and if you have some, grab some blocks and place them and keep them in your hands. So you're going to start with your left foot facing the long edge of the mat and turn your right foot to face the front short edge of the mat. And place the block, if you have one, next to your foot. You can place it on either side depending on how flexible you are and how much support you want. There are many things that happen in triangle pose. The first thing I want you to notice is the hip movement. So at first, you will have your ankle, knee, and hip that is aligned with each other on one side. Same thing happens on the other side. This precise position will depend also on the opening of your hips. So don't worry about it if you are a little bit backwards or if you feel that this is a little tight. The most important thing is that you keep the alignments of each leg correctly and that you don't feel any twist in the knee. Now, if you hold your hips, what you'll notice happen in triangle pose is that the hip tilts to the side. So the idea here is to move the hip actually as far as possible from the right hand that gets extended to the side in the inhale. So as you inhale, extend your right arm to the side and hip goes backwards. And then as you exhale, you're going to place your hand down either on your leg or on the block, or it can also be on your ankle, grabbing your toe, or on the floor. The important thing here is that you don't go too far because otherwise you're going to lose the alignment. What you should feel here, wherever you go, is you should feel a stretch in both legs and on the side of your body. If you start collapsing to the front in order to touch the floor, this is not good anymore. You want to keep the chest as open as possible and as facing the side and ceiling as possible. So even as you're only in this position, you can already try to move the shoulder back and then place your hand down, move it even further. And then if you want, if you feel stable enough, you can raise your hand to the ceiling. You can either look straight ahead of you or towards the ceiling. And typically we would stay here for 5 breaths. Now there are 2 different ways to come out of this pose. So the first one is to simply come up. And as you come up, you can always bend your knee a little. I like doing this because I feel it's more comfortable. The other way to come out of this pose is to look at your right foot, place both of your hands around your foot and bend your knee and step back. And typically here we would move to a sun salutation. I'm going to come back to the position now. And the other way to come back up is to simply bend your knee and come back up. For revolved triangle pose, the left foot will be turned slightly inwards And here the idea is we're going to face the short end of the mat. I'm going to face the camera so you can see better. Here we want to face the front of the mat. Now, if you feel that this is a little bit wobbly and you don't feel too balanced, you can always train track the feet, separate them, and this helps you keep balance better. I'm going to come back to the mat, and actually I'm going to turn around so that you can see better what happens later on, but you stay there. Place your hands on your hips. Here again, spine is long and straight. Inhale, left arm up. And as you exhale, you're going to fold from the hips slowly and place your hand either on your leg or on your ankle, or even better, on the outside of your foot. If you can reach the floor, it's great. Otherwise, you can also use a yoga block to help you support you. So that's why I think yoga blocks are amazing to get, because it helps you get into the right poses with the right alignments. Here what you should feel is an intense stretch in the legs and a torsion in the spine. Now you can either stay here with your hand on your hip. What happens to the hips here is typically it turns to the side. You can either stay here looking straight ahead, or you can raise your hand up to the ceiling and then look at your upper hand. It's quite difficult to hold this pose because of balance and flexibility, lots of different reasons. But it's always easier, at least with a block. Now there are two different ways to come out of this pose. You either look at your front foot, bend your knee, place your hands around your foot, step back, and then we go to the vinyasa. Otherwise, the second way to come out of this pose is to look down at your front foot and come up. For intense side stretch pose, the feet don't move compared to revolved triangle, and the arms placement are a little bit special. You have two different arm placements. One is grabbing your opposite elbows. The other one is to go into reverse prayer. I personally do not really like reverse prayer because it kind of hurts my wrist if you're uncomfortable. So I just grab my opposite elbows. So now with both feet facing the front of the mat, with the left foot potentially facing 45 degrees instead of the front of the mat. As you inhale, you're going to look up, open your chest, tailbone down. Exhale, you're going to fold forward, always from the hips, until you get stuck. As usual, you fold until you get stuck, trying to bring your chin as close to your shin as possible. This is in order to maintain the opening of the chest. Now you can either stay here or you can just relax the top of your back. And what you should feel is a very intense stretch in the hamstrings, but never overextend the knee. Always remember you micro bend, and if this stretch is too intense, you can also, as always, bend the knee a little and stay here. Try to still feel the stretch even though you bend your knee. And then we come out in this pose by inhale, look up, and come back. Exhale, step to the front of the mat into Utthita. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it wasn't too complex or long. If you liked it, please leave me a thumbs up. If you have any comment or question, leave it in the section down below. And remember to subscribe to my channel. I don't know what we're going to see.